What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be trying out something a little different, something that I never really play on the channel at all. I usually play a lot of story-driven role player type games, but today we're gonna try out Settlement Survival, game developed by Gleamer Studio. It is in the same vein as Banished, but a little different from Banished. It's got a few different systems that we'll explore and get into as we go along. But let's go ahead and get started. Gonna have a standard mode. Gonna keep the town new town. I guess we can keep it at. It's fine with me. Let's kind of randomize my seed. All right, Africa. That's a nice place to be. Start off with a large map. Keep it on easy because I'm still kind of learning the game myself. And let's see if we can find a decent place to settle. Now, ideally, I would like to settle somewhere that's flat and not surrounded by a bunch of mountain ranges. And also, I want to be kind of close to the water. It is a lot of mountains in this in that area right there. This looks like a pretty decent area. It's not too close to the border. It's right by some water. I guess we can deal with 1 or 2 mountains. That ain't too bad. So let's go ahead and plop our citizens down. All right. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get these people some houses. Let's pause the game so we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. So I want to start off by putting a couple houses down, and you'll see in a minute what I mean by this game is a little different from Banished. I don't like my houses all close up on each other. I'm going to build just 2 houses for now, and then I'm going to also put a boarding house down, because this will allow more citizens to live in it. But eventually I'm going to have to build regular houses like that because they're not going to want to procreate and increase the population if they just living in a boarding house. I guess it's not enough private rooms in there. All right. So anyway, the next thing I want to do is to ensure that our resources stay popping. You know what I mean? We got to have some timber and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and create a logging camp somewhere away from my main base here, but not too far away that he has to carry it so far to the open warehouse down there. So that's probably a good spot right there. We're gonna also need a big well somewhere where our citizens can get some water, a morsel of water, even though they're surrounded right here by the river and stuff like that. I guess they too good to walk over there and dip their buckets in there, so they need a well. So let's build them one so they won't be thirsty and dying on us. Another thing we're going to need is a gathering station. If you play Banished, the gatherer will go out and gather herbs and different plants and fruits and stuff like that, because those type of things supply the clinic and keeps our citizens healthy. When they go and break their bones or get sick or something like that, they can go to the clinic and they can be healed by the herbs. Hallelujah. All right, let me be at my gathering station over here. You kind of want this away from your town too. You want it in the area that's not going to really be disturbed and tore down, because you need the foliage here, because the foliage helps produce the plants and herbs and stuff that you need, right? All right, and if you cut all the trees down, then you have no plants. Another thing, let's go ahead and put down a hunting cabin, because that will provide us with some meat and some leather. And those type of things we're going to need to make clothes and things like that. I want to kind of go ahead and get some roads laid out, kind of build my town around the roads. And I don't want them working on too many things at once, so I'm going to go ahead and pause these buildings right here for now, because I want them to focus on building the houses first. And once they get the houses built, I'll unpause those. Let's go ahead and start the game. I'll unpause those, and then they could go ahead and start working on that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get them some more buildings here. So we're going to need a tailor, because a tailor is what they're going to need to make clothes, stuff like that, to keep them warm in the wintertime. Let's see, where do I want to set up my like my industrial type business area? I don't want to have it too close to the houses, but also not too far away. Let's just put that area Put that back here, I guess. Well, no, let's put it on the side, like right here. So that'll be our tailor shop. Let's pause that for now. A chopping house, they're going to need that to make timber and turn the timber into domestic fuel. But I really don't want a chopping house. I'd rather have a sawmill, a water sawmill like that, because that produces timber a whole lot faster. It produces domestic fuel a whole lot faster than that would. So we're going to hold off on that for now. Let these guys go ahead and start building their houses, building the boarding house there. But let me go ahead and lay down a clinic. And as you can see, the clinic only covers a certain area, so I got to make sure I have it in a central location to where it covers all the houses in that area, you know. So if somebody gets hurt in this area, they'll go to the clinic. If it's too far away and it's not, if it's way over here, then it's not serviced in the area we need it to service. So got to make sure it's kind of close. So I'm gonna kind of put it close to the houses. Well, let me see. If I put it over here, it's kind of right on the border though. So I'll put it right here. Put that there. Pause it for now. See, he kind of got this snowflake symbol right here because he needs some fuel, some domestic fuel for his house. Keep his house warm. Let's kind of speed things up here so we can get them going. It's kind of, let's unpause some of these buildings too. Because I'm going to need these buildings pretty soon. Got a couple of the houses built, so I guess I can spare some of my laborers to start working on these areas to get them going. As you can see, it takes a lot of tool swings. I guess that's what that symbolizes to get that house built. We're also going to need a where is it? Blacksmith. That's it. Because the blacksmith is the person that's going to make the tools for us. If we don't have a blacksmith, then we're just going to run out of tools eventually, and we don't want that. So we got to be sure to put him down, get him going. All right, things are going pretty smoothly. See, we already got one citizen that has gotten injured, which means we need to go ahead and get this clinic open, because even though the citizen is injured, you know, he won't die immediately, but he won't work as fast and won't be as effective if he dies. I mean, if he's injured like that. All right, as you can see, we no longer have the notifications of the people that need houses, because we got the boarding house and we got the two houses right here. So there's plenty of space right now for them to live. Got them working on the gathering station, the logging station, or logging camp. And in a minute, I'll unpause the hunting cabin. One of those icons. I guess they don't have the sufficient materials. We've run out of stone, it appears. So let's get my people, which I probably should have done in the beginning. Let's get them to come over here and gather all the resources in this area, right? That way we can have the supplies we need to finish our buildings. I honestly don't know how we ran out so fast. So if you look right here to the left, they say we got a new development point. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning when I said that this game is a little bit different from Banished. It has what they call a technology system. And you get these development points over time. They kind of like research points that you get. And with these, if you come up here, you can see we have the development technology tree. Like I said, you have different webs, I guess you can go out, skill trees. You got the agriculture, you got the processing, mining, construction, quality of life, education, logistics, and trade. And you can put points into different aspects, and it'll unlock different buildings. It'll unlock different skills. So you got like the business tycoon, sorry. effect here, and the order cooldown at the ferry and dock is minus 25%, so it helps to move things along a little bit faster. So that's one of the different things that is different from Banished in, which makes it a little better in my opinion. But one thing we really want to, just trying to make sure they building everything and we got the right supplies. One thing we want to put some points into is what I was talking about earlier, is the sawmill. Where is it? There it is. It's in construction. So if we have the sawmill here, you see I just activated that. Now that gives us a new building. We got the sawmill and we got the water sawmill. And what that does, it turns the wood that we chop down into domestic fuel, which we need to warm our houses in the winter. And it does it much more efficiently than a chopping house or a regular sawmill does. So the water sawmill is where it's at. I also need to put down a pasture so that we can round up those animals we got laying around. Let's do 10 by 10. Or how big can we get this thing? 12 by 10. Let's do that, so that way we can get that built, and then whatever animals we have laying around, hopefully we got some animals that provide us with some leather, and we can go ahead and get that worked out, and we can get some clothes made. And another thing you want to do in this game, which is something that you did in Banished as well, that you want to set production limits. And I'll show you what I mean as soon as they finish building that building. But in the meantime, let me put down another warehouse, because that one there is going to fill up really fast. So let's put one, not there, I don't want it right in front of that one. Let's put it right next to it though. Let's put a little space in between it. Another open warehouse right there. And what you want to do is I want to tell my blacksmith to make stone tools, all right? And you have the production limit here because you don't want to have him making too many tools, because he'll eat up all your resources. So I'm just going to set this to 40 for now, because that's a pretty good number in the beginning anyways. And that way he won't eat up all our resources trying to make tools. Got our gatherer station up, and they're out there gathering some mushrooms and peas and oats and such. And we can also build us a field, and we can plant some crops of our own, which is also something I think you could do in Banished. We started off with some chili pepper seeds, cabbage, tomato, and pumpkin seeds. So the seeds that you get in each game is they randomized, so you never get the same ones in each game. So let's start off with some cabbage in this field, and I am going to build another field. And once that one gets cleared off, we'll set a different produce that we want to produce, right? All right. All right, now that that one's done, let me get some pumpkin seeds going. It is October still at the recording of this video. All right, so we got those things going. I want to tell my tailor what I need him to make. I need him to make some clothes, right? So in order to make clothes though, you're gonna need leather, which was the purpose of building this pasture here, but we don't have any animals around to make leather with. All we have is chickens in my vicinity right now, so that's not going to be too helpful. Not going to be helpful at all. So this icon here, you can see that the production limit has already been reached, but that's okay, because that means we're doing pretty well, and he's making the tools that we need him to make, and we're not going to run out of tools, right? So that's good. We got our logging camp up and running. Got our hunting cabin and gatherer station up and running. And now what I can do so that I can keep my population booming, I'm going to go ahead and put down some more houses. So if you see those 2 yellow arrows in the front of the house right there, that just tells you which way the house is facing. And I'm going to turn it this way because it'll look kind of weird if they're facing the back of that house. And I am going to put a road down. So like I say, I want to kind of build my town around roads. Or around a road. And the roads also help the citizens to get around faster. Let's put down a couple houses here. I say a couple, then I put down 3. All right, so just let me know down in the comments below if you're liking this, if you want to see more of this type of content on the channel. I'm just thinking about maybe going a different direction with the channel, the type of games I play. And I'm really into city builder type channels, or type games, I should say. All right, so I need to go ahead and tell them to start making some domestic fuel, which is this icon here. So now that we got this up and running, they'll turn this timber here into domestic fuel, and they can use that to warm their houses. And I also want to build another dirt road. Extend my road out some, out to here, so they can just walk over to the resource stack right there. But if you look here, you can see that this road is darker and this one is kind of light. This one is just the layout of where I want them to build the road. It's not actually built yet. Once they actually build it, then it'll look like that. It'll get darker. Another thing I want to put down a builder's hut, because that allows me to assign builders, and the builders are the ones that actually ensure that the roads and the buildings get built when I want them to, and not just, you know, the people not lollygagging around, because these people actually have jobs, you know. They actually have real life things they have to attend to, and they're not always able to build. I already have a builder's cabin. What? I don't need another one. I didn't realize I already had one. So let me see if it's a way for me to, yeah, let me demolish this then. I already have a builder's cabin. All right, let's get that out of there just like that. All right, so we got 3 citizens that want a new house, got some new crop seeds and more development points. So let's go ahead and build some more houses. That way we can get more people out of the boarding house. Going to build these houses on this side of the street. Just build 4 more. Hopefully we can get our domestic fuel resource up some, because we are running low, very low. We got plenty of timber though. I just don't have that. I guess the people not carrying it over there like they should. And we starting to run out. We don't want our people to get cold. It ain't not working. We need you to work. So eventually, once these houses get built, I believe this boarding house is going to be empty. But I'm going to keep it built, because once I build a town hall, that will allow me to import immigrants into the community. But you don't want to do that too fast, because they will eat up a lot of your resources, and if you're not ready to tackle that task, then you'll be in trouble. So you want to expand steadily, but you don't want to expand too fast. Let's go ahead and build a road to the clinic. That way people can move around there. Those fuel reserves are low. We need to get some people working on that. I don't know what's going on. We got some slackers in the community, but no worries, because I will find out who those slackers are, and they will be banished from this community. Banished, I tell you. So you see that icon right there just popped up, just let me know that this place is empty, or going to be empty, or has some empty spaces in it. All right, so our fuel reserves are coming up a little bit. I also want to build a road out here to my gatherer's hut. That way the gatherer can walk down this road and come over here to the resource stack, and they not, you know, it doesn't take them as long to get there. Let's build one in front of there. Build a road there. And build a road there. So I know my fuel reserves are going down really fast, but they'll start to pick up pretty soon. I mean, once everybody gets the resources that they need in their homes, then I'll be able to just, you know, start mass producing some fuel, and people won't be taking it as fast. You also want to keep an eye on your warehouse space. You can see right here the inventory is at 58% on that one, and that one is 84%. So it's always good to have a few of the open warehouses around. That way the people have places to store their goods that they're gathering for you. So what I'm going to do while I'm talking about that, I'm going to build another one. Right there. And you also have in this game crime, stuff like that. But if you build things like a church, and let's go back to the technology screen. If I build like a church, or if I build a police station, you know, that helps curb the crime in the settlement, keeps people from thievery and such, and murder. I think people can actually be murdered in this game as well. I haven't got that far in the game, but I'm sure I can get there one day. But that's what I mean when I say this game is a little different. You know, it got this nice developments tab here, and it just goes in so much detail and so much depth that Banished failed to do. But people try to do with mods, but by the time that happened, you know, Banished was kind of on the back burner. It was kind of going down at that point, you know what I mean? So I really need to get, all right, look at that. It went from 2 to 72. I was just about to say I need to get my fuel reserves up. We just got another development point. And you also want to invest in things like education, because smarter workers are more efficient, right? So let's go ahead and put a point into education so that way we can get a school. I want to put a point in research as well, because if we build a research center or research institute, as it's called, it allows us to gain development points faster, right? So we want to do that, but we don't want to build that right now. We want to get our resources up, because it get up a lot of resources. But I am going to go ahead and put a point in this school expansion. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just put one in the research institute, but that's okay, because I was going to put one in there eventually anyways. All right, the town is growing quite nicely. My happiness, you got to keep your citizens happy, right? You got to keep them happy. You got to keep them healthy. And it's not doing, it's like mediocre right now, which means it's going to affect our work efficiency. And I really don't know why they're unhappy right now. But you can do things to boost the happiness, like build a church. You can do things like build a distillery, and that'll bring the happiness up, because people like to go to church, and you got people that like to drink. So people that like to do both, you know, whatever floats their boat. So let's go ahead and put a church down. And you're also going to want to put down a cemetery, because people do die in this game. If you don't have a cemetery in the game, then they have nowhere to bury their dead. And that also brings the happiness down if you don't have a cemetery for them to bury their lost family members. And I can't really say if building it too close to town is bad, but if it was me, I wouldn't really want a cemetery too close to my place of living. So what I will do is I'll put one kind of off to the side here, and that way when somebody dies, they can bury them over here, you know. But in real life, you kind of see those things close to the church. All right, so we got a nice little town going right now. We got it up and running. Got our resources booming. Got our fuel up to 200 now, and I think that's the resource limit that I set. But I'm gonna increase that to about 400, I guess, because we're gonna need that, and people are gonna start using that up pretty soon and pretty fast. I mean, we don't have any leather, but at least we got some chicken and eggs, right? I guess that's pretty good. I really wish we did have some leather, but that's gonna be up to our hunter up here. Oh, this is not the hunter. Where's the hunter? Where's the hunter? I was just passing. The hunter down here. He's gonna be the one that has to go out and kill deer or whatever it is, get some leather from the animals that he hunt, or she, Anastasia, sorry. And she's gonna bring that to the tailor. He or she is gonna turn the leather into rough clothes. But yeah, so we got our cemetery. Oh, we need some more stone, which we are out of. Let me see if I can find some stone to get my people to go collect. Here's some over here. To get my people to collect all the stone over here. Now, you might be wondering and thinking to yourself, well, you seem like you run out of resources pretty fast. And you do. Stuff like stone and wood. So one thing that you can do, again, with this development system, if you go here to the development tab, open up the mining, and you can put some points into mining, and you can put some points into, so you can be able to build a quarry and a stone pit. And that way you can have people to actually go and mine those things for you, and you're less likely to run out of it. So while I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and activate that, put a point into that. I'm going to put a point into the stone pit, and we are going to place those things in the camp. Those have to be, the mine pit at least has to be backed up to a mountainous range. So I guess that one isn't wide enough for me to put it there. So let me see if I can put it here. I don't want it to intrude. Okay. Don't want it to intrude too much on my logging camp there. So, but it's outside of the area. And we're also going to put the quarry. I was going to say we also can put a quarry down, but the quarry is rather large, so you want to kind of put that away from everything as well, because it takes up a pretty big area. Let me see how far this expands. So we're going to kind of put it out here, that way it's not intruding on my gathering station. Put it out here in this area. And I'm also going to extend my road out to that area as well. And I'm going to extend this road over and up out to the mine pit there. All right, so things are moving along pretty nicely. We got 739 stone, I guess, from that area over there where I told my people to mine. I also see some more right here that I'm going to get them to clear out. Up now, as you can see, let me slow this thing down a little bit. As you can see, my open warehouses are already full, and I have 3 of them. So you can just imagine how fast those things fill up. So we're going to have to build another one. And I don't want to keep putting it over here because I want to use this for some building space. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put a open warehouse over here, a rather large one. I think the 10 by 10 is as big as I can get. So I'm going to put another one there, and that way they have more places to put the resources that they have, and we can be much more efficient that way. The product limit is reached for that. All right, I got that set to 400. So we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good on fuel, doing pretty good on water, doing pretty well, I would say, on water. Medicine is kind of dwindling a little bit, but again, with the development system here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a point into apiary, I believe. Put a point into that, and I'm going to get all the way to herb knowledge. And what herb knowledge does, it has the citizens have a chance to get the herb seed while collecting. And that helps them, to plant more herbs and in turn gather more herbs. So I have 4 development points now, so I'm going to go ahead and activate this. And you have to activate each one individually, and each one costs 1 development point apiece. So I'm going to go ahead and put my point into herb knowledge, and hopefully by me doing this early in the game, it helps to boost my medicine count because we get more herbs. In theory, that's the way it's supposed to work anyway. Got our cabbage patch and pumpkin patch growing pretty well over here with our 4 workers. We have 8 total. Lord, Bess, Mary, and Mark. All right now. Got them doing some work. Let's see. We don't have anybody in the boarding house right now, which is good. But I'm going to keep it up, like I said, because once we get a town hall going, we can bring immigrants into the community and help to boost the population, because the population that we have is going to start to die off eventually, which is the point of me building these houses. That way they can make babies and keep the population going. And eventually these people, like these people right here, they mark and end it. They have, you know, they both 35, they got 1 child so far, but they end up probably having 2. And those 2 children are going to want to go out and move, you know, get married or whatever, and move into their own house. Now this, you know, I just said get married, 2 children. You probably think, oh, they siblings, but you know, this is just a game. They don't have all those ancestry rules and all that kind of crap. So, and also you can see by putting those development points in the apiary skill line, we gain the orchard, we gain the nursery, we also gain the apiary. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that word, but it is what it is, right? Let's see, did we got this built yet? Almost. Kind of slow going with this. I did turn the speed down, so it's going to be going kind of slow. But I like the way things are going. They are going pretty well. The city's up and moving. I didn't change the name. I was going to change the name to New Jack City, but I decided to leave it as Newtown, because the name of the town is not that relevant, you know. These people over here hadn't gathered my stone yet either, but that's all right. Hopefully they're not slacking off. They were doing some work somewhere else. Maybe they're working on this up here. Doesn't look like it though, because it's going pretty slow. But that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race, right? We have a ton of pumpkins. Look at that. 1,409 pumpkins we have. 'Tis the season, right, for the pumpkins. 'Tis the season. We also have the notification down here in the bottom left. Tells you what's going on. You know, there were 3 births last season. It also tell you if there was 0 births. Or I also had in one playthrough I did just off screen. One of my workers were unhappy and they committed suicide. That was something I never really seen in a game like this. So they have a lot of different elements in the game. Glad to see my happiness is up, my health is up. Got the church going right here. And I would say that we are off to a great start, but let me know down in the comments below what you think about this game. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. If you like the new direction I'm going with the channel, let me know. Just let me know how you feel in the comments below. And you know, I really like this type of game. These are the type of games that actually got me into wanting to create content by watching other content creators make videos like this. Content creators like Nookrium, sorry, and Raptor. They were the ones that you know, they play games like this, and that inspired me to want to make gameplay and content and such like that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Continue to love God and play video games. See you on the next one. Peace out.